Ladies, gentlemen, Gunkins, Jones, Kenny Booty coming into the special shout out to all those stormtroopers who just refuse to die. It's great to be the Empire today where they're just going straight into it, people. Like, there's no break. We didn't even get the Naboo rage yet. We're waiting for that this week, but they're already getting the milking going for the Ahsoka Tano TV show characters. We have the Night Trooper kit reveal. I got a lot of question marks. I'm maybe talking to you guys. Maybe we can try to figure out some of these questions. They're alluding to maybe more Imperial Remnants coming, which is going to be exciting. Maybe something more for Grand Admiral Thrawn, for him to get his own identity. But there's a lot of other questions that I have. Let's get on over and let's start breaking this down, my friends. This kind of caught me off guard. I was not expecting a kit reveal today. We got holidays in the United States of America, and they probably won't be in the office in case the game gets broken. But hey, you know what? If the game's broken, they don't seem to care, right? But on top of that as well, I was expecting to get the Naboo raid first before we start doing Ahsoka Tano TV show stuff. Regardless, we'll be testing out Night Trooper later on this week. But the question that I have, one of many that I'm going to discuss with you, what are we supposed to test them out with right now? As I'm going to kind of just get straight to the punch here. If you scroll down a little bit to the Q&A, we're going to go over the other stuff. But the one that kind of reads a bit weird is, what squad does Night Trooper work with? Their ideal is with the new Imperial Remnants being released. However, they also work as an ops for Nightsisters. As you see, we have tags of the Imperial Remnant, Nightsisters. Unfortunately, no Imperial Trooper. They've been really trying to hold stuff back so Veers does not get his grimy little paws on. I think they want the Veers team to die off. It sucks. I love that team, though. But the way it reads, it says being released. And when you're saying it's being released, we're in the process of it happening. If they're talking about the previous stuff, which is Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, they would have said their ideal is with the new Imperial troopers that have been released. You see the difference in the verbiage there? So I might be looking too much into it. Maybe the tactical scanners are leading me astray. But we know there's other marquees coming for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. We're assuming it's going to be like other things that help Ahsoka's team. But if it's Imperial Remnant stuff, I don't think I'm going to be all that mad about it. So just want to put that out there that we might not have the perfect home for this yet. And I'm hoping, again, it's going to end up in a Grand Admiral Thrawn team. Couple of things I want to point out here with this new character. They're double downing on this again. They're doing Datacron exclusives via marquee event. And like with the Padawan Kenobi, I'm not going too crazy about it. I feel like I only get a couple of rage cards per year. I use them quite a lot, if you don't know. But I try to be reserved on them because when I think about it, if you're a free-to-play player, you're not going to get the Datacron for this guy anyways. But still, it'd be nice to have the option. But as you see here, there's going to be a Datacron similar to Padawan Obi-Wan, where the only way to get it is through the exclusive marquee event. But again, the only people having a 7-star Relic 5 guy is going to be Wales. And if you're a free-to-play player, you're not going to have a 7-star within the next 3 months or so. So we're probably going to get more info on the Datacrons later on this week, likely Imperial Remnant and or Nightsister stuff right around the corner. But beyond that, they're doing some other little changes to the marquee event where they're going to try to get some freebies, giving some mods that are recommended for the Night Trooper. As you see, this is an attacker unit. Kind of odd. I was expecting something more of the Nightsister zombie variant, but it's kind of like the inverse, where Nightsister zombie does no damage. This guy looks like he's going to be doing a lot of damage with his new debuff called Blight, which has similarities to Plague, and has a new buff Alert, which has synergy with turn meter gains and characters using their special abilities, and Resilient Shambling Attacker who greatly benefits from potency. So with all that said, let's go ahead and start nosediving into this kit reveal that we have here. And then maybe we could try to figure out, maybe there is more stuff coming around the corner and we just can't see it right now. So basic ability, Shambling Shot. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict Night Trooper with the stack of Blight, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Man, what a wild buff, debuff that is there. It's supposed to be just Blight, but let's not get into it. I don't want to play the Fix Your Game song right now, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted until the end of the encounter. If this attack scores the critical hit, inflict healing immunity for 1 turn. And if Night Trooper has Blight at the start of this attack, inflict speed down on the target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be resisted, and removes 10% turn meter. Now you might be asking, what does 3/3 Blight minus /C do? What that does, minus 100% health steal. This character takes bonus true damage whenever they lose turn meter from an enemy, and this can't be evaded and can't defeat them. Remove all stacks of Blight when this character recovers full health. So you can see some of the Nightsister, the similarities with Plague, where in order to heal, the Plague, you have to heal 100% of the way. A very similar story that we're seeing right here. And in case you're curious, this is just a flat percentage amount, and you could overcome that health steal deficiency right there. As you can see, no, it reduced the health steal value by 100%, but like other stats, you could overcome this deficit with enough percent health steal. For example, if you had 200% health steal and you had Blight, it would be reduced to 100% health steal. So it doesn't completely eliminate it, you can still overcome it. But we gotta keep reading along. Man, it's kind of, I know Ahsoka kind of gets crap. I feel like nowadays it's gotta be either trash or amazing. I thought the show was okay. It wasn't like, Mando 1, Mando 2, Andor, but definitely one of the cooler moments of the Ahsoka show were the Night Troopers that were being utilized in that regard there. Special 1, March of the Undying, CD, -3, cooldown of 3, deal physical damage to all enemies. And Night Trooper gains CFFF33 alert -/C for 2 turns, which can't be copied. Man, these are some gnarly sounding effects here. The enemy with the least turn meter is stunned and inflicted vulnerable for 1 turn, and move 5% turn meter from all other enemies. And you get to call a target other ally to assist. And what CFFF33 alert -/C does, whenever an ally gains bonus turn meter while not at 100% turn meter, this character gains 10% turn meter once per turn. This character assists whenever an ally uses a special ability. And there's a lot of ways of getting bonus turn meter in a Nightsister or an Imperial Remnant team, especially Imperial Remnant team. You have, for example, OG Moff be able to pull and then gain turn meter, so that could possibly help as well. On top of that, and then we have Special 2, Share My Suffering. Cooldown -4, cooldown of 4. Deal physical damage and inflict the target enemy with a stack of Blight, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted until the end of the encounter for each stack of Blight on Night Trooper. So this is how you try to push that Blight onto the enemy, which goes to a cap of 10. So it's not like Plague where it goes to infinity and beyond. There is a cap to all this. Then remove 100% turn meter from the target enemy, and all enemies are inflicted with critical chance down for 2 turns. Kind of a, random debuff Thrawn, I guess, maybe try to minimize the critical hits. Therefore, you can't, heal as much off health steal potentially. I'm just kind of throwing some suggestions why that might be important. Again, kind of a little bit random. And then you have the unique ability, Inevitable End, with a Zeta and a Grand Arena Omicron. You're speaking my lingo right now. Night Trooper has 35% potency. Whenever Night Trooper is damaged, and that potency is really important because as you're seeing, we're trying to do a lot of stuff, applying all these debuffs to the enemy team. So, trying to get as much potency as possible really helps out. Whenever Night Trooper is damaged, they gain 10% offense, which is stacking, which means there's no cap to it. However, there's a cap to the speed ramping. You can get 5 speed anytime Night Trooper is damaged, which goes up to a stack of 100. I'm guessing the vibe they're going for here is, it's kind of like you want to feel like there's a horde of zombies coming your way, a giant group of them. So the more zombies there are, the more powerful, the more overwhelming it becomes. That's what I'm kind of getting out of it, which is kind of cool. For 1 turn, until they are critically hit, and whenever an enemy recovers health, Night Trooper recovers 100% health. Now that is kind of interesting there. So even if you're trying to heal to get rid of the Blight, for example, just like you would have Plague, boom, he's back to 100% health to him as well. So anything that gets health recovery, and it's just, and the way I read it too, even if it's like 1% health recovery, getting straight to 100% health, that sounds kind of nice. Enemies can't recover health from health steal when targeting Night Trooper, so you can't hit the Night Trooper to try to get health steal stuff. Won't work there. At the start of the Night Trooper's turn, they gain 10% critical damage and defense penetration per stack of Blight on them for 1 turn. So that can maybe pile up over time, and especially if we're assuming Imperial Remnants of Gideon, getting extra damage is kind of a nice thing, right? And then whenever Night Trooper reaches 5 stacks of Blight, they gain Frenzy for 2 turns. So trying to get, again, more turns as possible out there, trying to spam all these negative debuffs onto the team. And in Grand Arena, when you got the Omicron, Night Trooper has 100% max health, 35 extra speed on top of the ramping speed as well. So we gotta wait and see. This could be a slow base speed character with a lot of ramping potential, but if it's a fast character with even more speed potential, that's gonna be a big deal. Night Trooper is immune to turn meter reduction. And if the ally, the leader slot is Imperial Remnant, this makes you want to believe that you're not supposed to use with Nightsisters technically. If the ally in the leader slot is Imperial Remnant, inflict a stack of Blight until the end of the encounter at the start of each Imperial Remnant ally's turn. to a random enemy. So if you're especially like rolling, turn, blight, turn, blight, turn, blight, just you're spamming this blight non-stop onto the enemy. And then whenever an enemy is inflicted with blight this way, reduce the cooldown of share my suffering by 1. Oh man. And that sounds like it's gonna be a ton of cooldown reduction. So this, even though it's got a cooldown of 4, it sounds like it's gonna be happening quite often. So again, dealing physical damage to the target enemy, inflicting them with a stack of blight, which can't be copied, spelled, or resisted for each stack of blight on Night Trooper. Then remove 100% turn meter from the target enemy, and all enemies are inflicted with critical chance down for 2 turns. I know I said this is only a cap of 10. I'm not sure if the blight has a cap of 10 or only this ability has the ability to apply 10. Because it sounds like if you're having this, constantly spamming blight out there as much as possible, it sounds like you're gonna have way more than 10, if that makes any sense to you guys. So here's the conundrum then. What's the ideal team for this guy? Now we have Imperial Remnants. You know, we have ourselves Nightsisters that could very well benefit from having a new trooper slash Nightsister. Let's go ahead and bring you on over to the game so you can kind of see the predicament that we're in. Gary, can you bring them on over? Let's show these people what our conversation is all about. So as you can see here, let's go ahead and hide my ugly mug. We currently have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, plus Dark Trooper Moff Gideon's technically an unofficial, 14th member. And then technically, if we wanted to, the Night Trooper could plug in as the 15th member. So what maybe this could do, because I know one of our complaints is right now with 3 trooper teams, someone's getting their team cannibalized. And lately it's been mostly Veers. Well, maybe you can, who do you take out of a Gideon team? It's kind of locked in. I mean, Death Trooper's kind of important. Scout Trooper's important. OG Moff Gideon's kind of important. Stormtrooper? All right, take out Stormtrooper, throw it on an Iden team maybe, and then put something from Iden teams on the Veers team. So again, when we read that post here that there are Imperial Remnants, new Remnants being released, it makes it sound like there's more stuff to come. So I don't know if Dark Trooper Moff Gideon's the way to go. It's really the only Imperial Remnant team right now. So if it's not that, what else is it at that point? So I'll let you guys think about it. I'm wondering if they're going to give the Imperial Remnant tag to Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's probably the biggest speculation that we can really run with right now. The other option here, I mean, I can see this maybe working. Again, there's a lot of mostly things tied to Imperial Remnants, but plenty of stuff to make this work with the Nightsisters. Right now, we currently have a similar situation where we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Nightsisters. Well, we got another one, so we have 10 Nightsisters. So could you maybe form 2 different Nightsister teams? See where I'm getting at? So it's either, all right, we flesh out a second Nightsister, which would be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know how great it would be. I mean, do you plug into the Mirren Nightsister? I don't know. Maybe we could. Is it for Imperial Remnants, for Gideon? Or is there something more to come? But all I can say is that I'm assuming all will be revealed in due time, my friend. I'm excited to test this guy out. It's nice that we have options. At the minimum, we're saying that there's options with this character with the potential of maybe even having a greater role down the road. I mean, but let's be real for a second. Even though it's cool to have these options, if we have Night Troopers and no Grand Admiral Thrawn to pair along with it, I think that's going to be kind of a missed opportunity. But you know what's not a missed opportunity? All you guys out there. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thanks for stopping by here on Arnold HowlNet News, the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. Now I got to go back and repair the fence in our royal garden or else my dog's going to run away. So I'm going to let you guys get to it, chat about it. I'm looking forward to meeting up with you guys later on this week for the Night Trooper as well. On top of that, testing out the Naboo raid, which is supposed to show up tomorrow as far as we know. But you know what? We'll find out. And until we meet again, always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.